by Fame Gillette. You know, I'm from Rahway, New Jersey to be exact. When his only purple label was the gang. We here in the fucking pink room and all that. Let's get real active. My last name is Gillette. That's actually my real last name. I used to play sports, so I don't know if anybody ever plays sports. You kind of get called by your last name a lot. Gillette, Gillette. So it was like one of the things that kind of stuck. But Fame came from the strongest drug known to man. It's like a dichotomy of something that I made myself and then something that is just me, I was born into, so Fame Gillette. What drives me and what inspires me? Well, that's easy. I done came too far to turn back and look back and do anything else. I'm sure I'm not about to be regular for a living. So it might not be right, but failure sometimes drives me because I'm scared to fail. And I just don't want to let people down, so that keeps me moving. And I don't want to let myself down most of all. So when I knew I was going to, I guess, be an entertainer more or less, I was shy my whole life, so honestly, I never really dreamt of being in the limelight like that. So it started off as just being a producer. I was just producing records, just making beats. I always had a bunch of artists that I was working with. So watching their mistakes, what they did wrong, knowing that I could do much better on that beat or whatever, just having a natural sense of music and musicality, and then just people failing time and time again, having artists not be as dedicated as I needed them to be, not, you know what I'm saying, not having that drive that I had personally, so it kind of pushed me into the mode like, yo, listen, you got the personality for it, you live that type of life, you might as well just go ahead and do it. So it took me a while to sharpen my blade. I can't say that I was one of those people who was naturally gifted in rhyme. It was something that I definitely had to dedicate myself to get better. So that's why it's almost like something that I got addicted to, because I'm like, damn, yo, I wonder how good I could get at this shit. I love performing. I love performing. Yeah, see, going to clubs and performing is almost like going to school for me, because I like study tempos, how the crowd moves to certain music, like what's going, so it's like homework for me. So I love going out and watching what moves people. Like if I'm performing, like me and Bless got a song called Proud of My Niggas. And we did a show in SOBs and it's like, I don't know, 300 white kids. It didn't dawn on us till after, like, damn, we should have changed up the set maybe. Like we shouldn't have performed Proud of My Niggas for 300 white kids, you know what I'm saying? But this is trial and error of performing and figuring it out as you go. So it's like, I like performing because you get to, you know what I mean, do your homework and figure out what's moving people, what's not, what you should do, what you shouldn't do. The reason why I went and got like real musicians to be part of the team and part of my production is because I grew up, just like I'm pretty sure anybody, most people, a lot of people grew up in the church. I grew up there from when I was a kid, younger. So just kind of like studying the drum, like that's where I figured out what was what. Because I remember going to church and hearing the music and loving it and then trying to pick it apart. Like, damn, what's the bass line? And when he played that, I want to hear that, like, but I can't hear it. I could see him playing it, but I can't hear it. So I used to like try to study it and try to figure it out. So just having that grooming of live musicianship and seeing that in church, it was an easy transition because the musicians in the church, I knew them all. So it was like, it was easy for me to, you know what I mean, tap into them, tap in with them to get that sound. But what pressed me to do it was just, music is boring sometimes. A lot of the music sounds the same to me now, to the point to where it's like, it's good, but it's like, it's on the same wavelength. So it's like, it's hard for me to pick apart good from bad now because everything sounds the same. So I'm just trying to add something, a little bit of twist, a little herbs and spices to the music to where it's like, it's mine. You know, my music, I can honestly say, doesn't really sound like anything else or anybody else's music. So the live element adds that, you know what I mean, that like, oh, that's Fame. He must have had something to do with that. Yeah, cause it's like, the whole stabs and down, all of that shit is like, if it's not church, it's live musicianship. If you listen to Beyonce, well, watch her live shows, it's the same elements. It's her live music, it's her live shows. But nobody is adding live elements to the actual tracks. So that's when I think the only person I ever seen really kind of do it, play with it, is Just Blaze, and he from Jersey. So it's like, maybe it's something that's out here where we just, you know what I mean, trying to make our own thing. You know? Everybody inspires me in Jersey, good or bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I tap into everything, whether y'all know it or not. I see it all, I hear it all. Like, if you got 100 plays on the song, Fame Gillette was one of them. I checked it out, you know what I'm saying? Because I like to see what's going on, who's hot, who's not. So, just to be specific, on a good note, you know what I mean? The guys that I surround myself inspire me. You guys had Mr. Splurge up here. He inspires me because his energy is so young and fresh, and it's like kind of tapping into who I was 3 years ago, 4 years ago. I mean, Chase Fetty, that's my brother. Like, outside of the music, I mean, he talented musically, but me and him been like in situations together that it's just crazy. It's like how we became friends is just ill, because it's one of them things to where I'm at the age now where my best friends aren't people I kind of grew up with. So it's a weird, like, damn, yo, how me and you that close like that? And and some of the niggas that I was in the sandbox with type shit, we ain't even really clicking like that. So it's like, I'm learning, like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got some good friends around me. Bless McFly. You know what I'm saying? Me and him out here on some double-headed monster shit out here moving around. We got hella songs coming together. We got the Proud record that's out now. And just, I mean, the individuals that I'm around every day, they really just keep me motivated to, and then the belief that they put in me motivates me, you know what I'm saying? They really believe in me. These niggas really think I'm dope. So it's like, all right, nigga, you gotta step up to the plate and actually be that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, our studio has surveillance cameras, so, you know what I'm saying? And if you ever been to the Purple Print House and you ever did some bullshit, you might be on candid camera. I don't know. The craziest shit I could say, like, and not particularly now, maybe in my past, was like, I was in the studio one time, and this was probably like the height of the lean era, like when everybody was sipping, like, it was crazy. One of my little homies, like, I don't know, he called himself, like, I don't know, cause I don't know what's too much, what's not enough, shit like that. So I don't know how it happened. Man, this little nigga got up, almost like the Boom Gang thing. But I'm talking about flat out, right on his face, bah, smashed out on his face, like, damn. So heavy drug use, like too much drug use in the studio will lead to like crazy stories, you know what I'm saying? So I tell you what, like, it's hard getting people to understand, like we could just talk about like romantic relationships. It's hard to get a female, if you don't know nothing about the studio or know how people work, creatives in general, it's hard to get somebody to really believe that you spent 18 hours somewhere sitting down doing something that somebody may not understand. It's almost impossible to yeah, yo, sometimes I sit in the studio for 12, 13, 15, 18. We're there in the same place. Whether we going to eat, but we're in the studio. You know what I'm saying? Like, that crazy. Or sometimes we sit there and, like, even if we're not creating, we building, we talking, you know, the studio that we at the Purple Penthouse is like a multifaceted studio. So we got office rooms, we got podcast, shit like that. So it's like, you could get caught up doing different things throughout the day. It's like an office. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm working OT. So it's hard for somebody to understand, yo, damn, has he been in the studio that long? What are you doing? So a lot of times you get called a liar, like, or, you know, you get the horror stories. A lot of people aren't as dedicated as me, and they use the studio as scapegoat to their lives, whatever, fucking bitches, whatever. So it's a nasty taste in the mouth for a lot of people when you say, I'm in the studio. It comes with so many negative connotations outside of the work that is being done. The older I'm getting and the more experiences I'm having less and less in common with people who are not in a creative realm, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you could try your hardest to, you know what I mean, to water those relationships, but those are two-way streets as well, so, you know what I'm saying? When being dedicated to this thing definitely affected my platonic and my relationships. I mean, I sacrificed the regular life for music, for sure. Like, I could have easily been married by now, probably had the love of my life, probably could have had kids by now. I don't have any of those things for music, you know what I'm saying? For the love of it and for the passion to make this thing happen, you know what I'm saying? Because this is all I really have. Next project, I'm still in the air as far as how I want to present it. You know, music is weird now. It's like Kanye in a good music camp, they just dropped 7 albums or whatever in a row. They about 20 minutes a piece. Shit, R. Kelly just dropped a 20-minute song. So he got a song that's longer than the album. So it's like, I'm kind of like in the air on how I want to release this next music. I've learned with my last album that when I dropped the body of music, it dated that music right there. So it's like everything is considered old once you put it in the package. Like, so 2 records, Certified and Hard to Stay Away. So I'm thinking about just dropping dual records, two records at a time, just to give people time enough to digest it. You know what I'm saying? It's hard enough to digest it. When you're not Drake, you can't drop 25 songs and have everybody sit there and appreciate each one enough to get through to it. So I want to spoon feed people what I have so that they can learn to love me. And outside of the music, people have to buy into you. They got to tap into you. So I'd much rather do platforms like this and give you 2 songs at a time and do more of this so that you can buy into me as an artist, as a person. So that by the time you hear my music, you like, yeah, that shit match him. His music matches him. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the key now, you know what I'm saying? Like, the key is having everything in line. Like, does your music match who you are as an artist? Are you talking about your real life, and does it match the way you dress, the way you walk, the way you talk? Are you believable?